Strictly still.
Welcome back to ISO Radio. We are finally back on the air. I am joined by some very, very, very special guests, some hometown legends. Joined here by the Kuruza crew, straight out of Toronto. Gonna be showcasing some of the music you can expect to see at their show at Toronto Jazz Festival later on in the week. And also we're gonna be highlighting some rhythms from the African continent. So keep it locked. This is Sounds by Strictly on ISO Radio.
Differento.
About a marching band. I think I had a vision about a marching band. I think we're gonna get women and them women gonna make a plan. We are gonna be there what the government makes us slave. Spirit high, you can't deny the vibe. I think I had a vision about a marching band. Representing the business of marching band. You had the tuba in the back and the trumpet on the side, and the flutes on the right, on the A's on the sides, and the clarinet and the row and the sax. Say action. You will see, we will hear and sing. You won't think I feel it away. These days I'm tryna buy some land. These days I'm tryna be a friend. These days I gotta get my place completely. These days I'm tryna be a man. These days I'm gonna be a player. These days I wanna buy some land. I wanna buy and buy ear. Every time you used to play, it's by ear. Play through the instrument, play, cause it's intimate, play, cause he's into it, play, cause you finna get all of the soul from the source, of course. Source, of course. Source, of course. But I'm marching, baby. I had a vision, not a vision, but a marching band. Instruments point to the sky for you and I. I had a vision, not a vision, but a marching band. I'm trying to see my women playing the instruments. I'm trying to see my women playing instruments. I said, I'm trying to see my women playing instruments. There you go. Hey, I said I'm trying to see my women, seeing women playing instruments. Cause I think I had a vision, not a vision, about a marching band. I swear I had a vision, not a vision, about a marching band. I swear I had a vision, not a vision, of a marching band. A marching band. Oh, You
are back, and we are joined here by the very special Kuruza, who are going to be performing, showcasing some rhythms at the Toronto Jazz Festival. I'm joined here by Kiga. Wagwan, Kiga.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am good, man. It's good to have you back here at ISO Radio. I know Kuruza used to be a staple here.
Yes.
And then now you've been doing shows all around the city. And I'm excited for this one. This one's a bit different. So in case you don't know, I'm going to set the context for you because I have a personal experience with Kuruza. I've been to a Kuruza show. Me and my wife went. It was in the winter time at the Drake Hotel. We were posted up outside waiting. Lineup was around the block. And me and my wife were like, yeah, we'll just go for a little bit, you know. We'll just go for the vibe and see what it's like. And you know, we'll see what it's like. This was about 12 o'clock. We get inside, colors everywhere. Everyone's dressed to the nines. Everyone in some fabrics you've never seen before, and it was wall-to-wall packed. You got Kiga hanging out, Minzy on the mic and the DJ set, just going absolutely wild. Hearing some sounds I've never heard before, and everyone is just having an amazing time. Then all of a sudden, someone comes out with a saxophone. I'm like, what is going on here? And it was just insane. So this was at the Drake Underground before you guys moved. So my personal connection to Kuruza is a very fun one, and we ended up staying right until the end of the event as well. It wasn't just for a little bit. So, Kuruza.
Thank you.
Yes, man, thank you. Thank you for providing invites to the city. So, we're excited to have you back, and we just wanted to have you here to share some of the things that are going on for your upcoming show. So I brought you here to showcase some of the music that you listen to, and I want you to think about it in this way for those that are listening at home. If Kuruza was a person and, you know, they had a crazy party, they had, you know, all the Amapiano, all the Afro, and this is the day after, and they're chilling out at home, what would they be listening to? And fortunately, we were able to create a playlist of different songs that, you know, if Kuruza was a person, we'd be listening to. So talk to me about some of the selections that you have.
Oh yeah. So most of the song, like I think, like in terms of like in general for like black art is a way to like find identity, like their identity. So like I think like the foundation of like most African music and just black music comes like from jazz. So I think like that's what it represents. And so the track that like we selected was like Zombie by Fela Kuti, which is like a legend, the creator of Afrobeat from Nigeria. And yeah, so I think it represents like us finding our identity outside of Eurocentric dominance culture. So yeah.
And what was your introduction to Fela? Like I know everyone's journey to hearing like some of his music is different, but how were you introduced?
Actually, I discovered him through his son because he had a big song in like '98 called Bam Bam.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I discovered like his son, and then from his son, like I discovered Fela Kuti.
Perfect, man. So we'll get into that first selection that you guys created for the playlist. We're gonna get into Fela Kuti. This one is called Zombie. Big tune.
go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie not go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie not go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie not go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie not go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie not go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie. Tell him to go straight. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Tell him to go kill. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Tell him to go quench. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Go and kill. Go and die. Go and quench. Put up all the verse. Go and quench. Go and kill. Go and die. Put up all the verse.
Hate to cut off Fela Kuti, but it's a long tune, big tune. This is actually, funny you picked this one. This was actually one of the first vinyl records that I bought when I got a record player for the first time, just sheerly off the album cover alone, so big selection. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening over the next few days. We've got the Toronto Jazz Festival going on, and you have your show set for June the 28th at 10 p.m. at the concert hall. So let us know, how did that come about? A lot of people think of Kuruza as simply being, just like a sound system. They don't see the instrumentation and the jazz and everything else that goes on. So let us know how that came about.
It came about because we started doing an event called Jazz Night, as we wanted to showcase the musician in the city and showcase also the artists that we know in our community to perform and introduce them to our audience. And through that, the people from Jazz Fest found out about Kuruza. And last year we celebrated 5 years our history, and they heard great things.
5 years strong. Congratulations, man.
So yeah, they heard great things about the show, and they invited us to do a show during one of the biggest festivals in the city, the Toronto Jazz Fest.
Nice. And I love the fact that you talked about highlighting people from the city and also highlighting people from the diaspora as well. So you have two special guests that are joining as well. Can you tell us about the special guests that are going to be performing with you?
Yeah, so we have one special guest from Montreal. Her name is Glozy. She's from Haiti.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have another special guest from Amsterdam. He's Nigerian. His name is Siren. He's one of the top selectors in the Netherlands. So yeah, we're excited to have him.
Nice. And again, that show is happening on June the 28th at the concert hall. So get your tickets now. That one's a late night show. So, treat yourself to a date night, a music night, and enjoy the vibes by Kuruza. So let's get into your next selection. I've got this one loaded up. I'm not sure if it was you or Hangout that chose this one. You also talk about this one.
Yeah, it's me that chose that. I chose this track because Black Coffee is probably the biggest African DJ at the moment. He's one of the top DJs, and he went to jazz school, so he's a jazz trained musician, and now he makes house music inspired by what he learned in theories through school. So this song really represents him learning from jazz and creating his own sound. And I think jazz is just represents that. It's just us getting introduced to different culture and mixing everything to make it our own. So that track is really, it represents also Kuruza, because the music that we play at the moment is a lot of electronic music, and yeah, I think this is a great track to showcase what type of sound that we like, and then the type of sound we'll be playing at the show.
Perfect. So get your ears ready for this one. This one is Black Coffee.
No, his name, the name is Zakes Batwini.
Okay.
But he was it's produced by Black Coffee.
Okay.
And he was signed to Black Coffee's label,
okay.
Solistic. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the track is called Wasting My Time.
Yeah, and his son was in the music video, so I used to love this music video. Yeah.
Perfect, man. All right, so let's get into this next one.
ISO Radio.
ISO Radio. ISO Radio.
ISO Radio.
ISO Radio.
So nice we had to play it twice. I am now joined by another member of the Kuruza crew. Who do I have next to me? Who do I have next to me?
Angel.
Angel, thank you for joining us on Sounds by Strictly here at ISO Radio.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you've been here before. Yeah.
Yours?
No, ISO.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
ISO, yes.
Yeah, you know the vibes. So I'm joined by you, and I wanted you to share some of your musical background and some of the influences, and just help the audience understand, some of the things that they may expect to hear at your show. So we were just talking before this, and we were talking about how your upbringing in Mozambique kind of shaped your musical landscape. Do you want to share a little bit about that, like some of the artists you grew up listening to, or some of the influences that you heard around you when you were growing up?
For sure. Growing up in Mozambique, sometimes I would go to these performances, and it was jazz bands. So there are some really great jazz musicians in Mozambique. And I used to watch a lot of Channel O, which is where you would see all the different African artists. So people like Cesaria Evra, that's my goat. She's a legend. Yusundura, people from back in the day. And then I also listened to a lot of South African music because I went to school in Eswatini. So in high school, that was DJ culture was already a thing for us. So we used to go to house parties, and that's sort of evolved into what we see as Amapiano now.
Yeah,
so
and
that's pretty cool.
I've noticed that too in terms of Amapiano. Even within that genre, there's so many different subgenres too, right? And it evolved from so many different genres like Bacardi, and so a lot of it is based off instrumentation. And you can I've been listening to a lot of South African jazz recently, and not just from the country but from the South African region. And it seems like it's just everywhere now. You hear tingles of it in lots of different musical styles. So what is the biggest difference between, say, you doing a Kuruza sound system party, which we know is a chock-a-block roadblock event in the city, versus doing your jazz shows and what people can expect in your upcoming show?
So Kuruza sound system, it can be chaotic. It's fun. It's just a release. It's an escapism. That's where you hear all your favorite songs and discover new music. Kuruza Jazz Night and the collaboration we're doing on the 28th with Jazz Fest is more so for if you're really a music lover, for a discovery element. I don't think it'll necessarily be the same stuff you hear at Sound System, a lot of the familiar bangers. It'll more so be you really want to experience live music because we will have live instrumentalists. You want to hear some jazzy elements. You want to hear songs you've never heard before. It's simply just to soak it in and have a different experience.
Yeah, and we were also talking just before the show about how the demographic of when you think of jazz, you think of it as an old man's genre. You usually think about, if we're being honest, mostly older white musicians doing these kind of covers of songs from the 60s, 70s and beyond. Whereas now we're seeing it being reclaimed, and we're hearing I'm a big fan of the UK jazz scene, and seeing artists like Yusuf Days, who's going to be performing next week as well, and even have people venturing in Andre 3000, and a whole nother demographic is getting into the whole jazz scene. So it's nice to see that Kuruza are trying to get more people to listen to this live music and make that connection between jazz and what they're listening to now.
Yeah, definitely one of the goals with Jazz Night was to make jazz music cool for a younger audience,
Yeah, the cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Make it cool.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people do think it's an older genre, or a lot of people don't really dive into it.
Yeah.
They're just kind of I don't know.
Well, we're hoping to change that here at Sounds by Strictly and with the Kuruza Jazz Night too.
Yeah.
So let's get into some music. You selected the next banger that we have coming up. Do you want to talk about this one for a bit?
Yeah, so coming off the previous song, I think this is a good fit. So this one is by Josiah Disciple and Jimmy Lulu. Jimmy Lulu is born in Mozambique, but a South African jazz artist. And this is an Amapiano track. So I think what I love about Amapiano is there's different types, like you said. And there's private school where there's a lot of jazz elements and jazz instrumentation in the Amapiano songs. It's a lot more chill. So it's really cool how they fuse jazz with a more housey genre. And it is a lot of younger people that listen to that. So I think this is a cool kind of mesh of two worlds, with Jimmy being an icon and a legend in jazz music as a South African artist, and then someone who's an Amapiano legend in his own right.
Yeah, two generations linking together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's get into the next track.
ISO Radio.
We are back again. And we're going to get into some more selections from Hangal because the playlist was too fire. So, your next selection, I know this track title, but I haven't heard this version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's find out. Of course, I'm biased. Another Mozambican. Moreira Shongisa is a famous sax player from Mozambique, recognized across the continent and in different places around the world. Yeah, so.
And yeah, I you know what I found interesting as well? You both talked about how like private school and just like the classical musical trainings influenced the music that you grew up on. Did you play any instruments growing up?
I did, yes. I played piano for like 6 or 7 years. I played guitar at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And has that influenced the way that you listen to music now? Can you sometimes be like, I know them chords. I grew up in those chords.
I wonder. I don't know. But I've always loved music. It's
Yeah.
always been a thing that I'm like, yeah.
And did you grow up playing any jazz?
No,
No?
I did not.
Later on in life is when you came
Maybe,
to
yeah.
appreciate it, yeah.
When I learned the drums. I want to learn the drums. Then I can go crazy.
Yeah, like Yusuf days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we talked about how we've both seen Yusuf play at different like events, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Like, I literally was in awe watching that. I was like, wow, this is like probably the best thing I've ever seen up until that day.
yes, so we'll get into this one. This one is called Take 5, and the band or the group who.
So Moreira Shongisa, Mozambican sax player, and Manu Dibango.
Perfect. So let's get into that one. Sounds by Strictly here in ISO Radio with Kuruza.
ISO Radio.
That was a big one. Big one. So, Dave Brubeck did the original Take
Big
5.
tune, big tune.
No bias, right? No bias. So, Dave Brubeck did the original. I have not heard that version. That got instantly added to the playlist. That was a rhythm. Absolute rhythm. So, thank you for putting me on. Kiga, we got you here now.
Yeah.
So, we talked about having a little bit of bias.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of bias to the East
Yeah.
African style of music.
Yeah.
And when we think about East African music and the jazz influence, there's a lot of names on that list.
Yeah.
Who did you grow up listening to on that list?
So, like, to be honest, at first, like, as a kid, like, I didn't have the palate to, like, enjoy jazz. I really got to enjoy it, like, when I was, like, 16, there was, like, a jazz bar that opened in Ethiopia, which, like, is, like, in a historic neighborhood called Piazza, and it was called Jazamba, and, like, they will have, like, live bands there. And then through that, I discovered, like, that one of the biggest, like, Ethio jazz musician, Melatu Asteke, was, like, doing an event at a hotel. So I went there and I met him, and I was like, wow.
Oh my gosh, in the flesh.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I was like, wow. That's like a new level. So yeah, it just changed the way I like hear music now, cause like I feel like every notes in like jazz music like evoke a certain emotion. So the next track I picked like evoked like so many emotions.
All that emo.
That's
And
why.
like personally, I had a connection to Ethiopian jazz through. I'm a hip hop head at heart, and I think Madlib, producer from LA, sampled a whole bunch of Ethiopian jazz in a collection, and I got put onto a lot of Ethiopian jazz through that. And also, I was mentioning the community that I work in. There's a lot of Ethiopian parents and students that put me onto music through, just talking and having conversations. So, introduce this one for us. The track is called Awash. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, Awash. Yeah.
All right, and it is by.
It's by Theodros Mituku.
Perfect. So enjoy this one. And again, we are joined here by Kuruza, who are going to be playing for the Toronto Jazz Festival. Remind us of the date and the location, guys.
It's it's on June 28th on Friday at the concert hall, 88 Yonge Street.
Perfect. All right, let's get into the next one.
ISO Radio.
Thank you so much for putting me on. That was fire. So, we're getting close to the end of the show, and I wanted to just thank you both for being here and sharing your musical knowledge and your expertise with us all here at ISO Radio. So again, we just want to make sure that people know where to find you and where to catch your live show. So when is this all happening?
It's happening on Friday, June 28th at the concert hall. The address is 88 Young Street. Doors open at 9 p.m. Show starts at 10 p.m.
Perfect. And who can we expect to see there?
We're going to have Glowzy, Cyrene, and Kuruza, of course.
Of course. And Kuruza, if you don't know already, you need to follow them, especially if you want to go to one of their events because tickets sell out like this. So where can they find you on the socials?
It's Kuruza World on TikTok and Twitter, and then Kuruza, so Kuruza with triple A on Instagram.
Perfect. And if you don't know, Kiga's got it printed on the back of his shirt in case you don't know. So thank you both for being here. Thank you for putting us on. I'm excited to see the performance, and I'm also excited just for Toronto to just see jazz in a different form, bring some new energy to the jazz festival. To close out, I'm going to play a song by a Toronto group called Mood Set. It's a jazz and R&B band led by two female musicians. They're playing June the 23rd at the TD Village stage for free at 4:30. And this track is called Improv On and On. Thank you again for tuning in for Sounds by Strictly. Big shout out to Kuruza for being here, putting us onto some music. And enjoy your weekend, guys.
ISO Radio.
Come in and come through and lovingly be you. I used to write love and love be rightfully. As love would come in and come through and lovingly be you. Loving you, something I could do every day. Every hour, every moment for the rest of our days. is truthful and truth hurts, but your words are like birds, they float through my skies, a gentle surprise. I promise I'm faithful, I'll be there, I'll love you, I'll take you wherever we need to go, go, go. Strictly still.